Imagine this. You're at your school talent show. The lights are bright. The crowd is packed and suddenly your dad walks on stage. Not as a guest, not as a helper, but as the main act. And what he does next will haunt you forever. This story comes from Reddit. A dad who decided to turn his kid's school event into his own personal dance floor. So here's what happened. A high school was hosting its annual talent show. Students were excited, it was their big chance to perform. Singers, dancers, comedians, the whole community came out to support. One student was especially nervous. Her act was up next. She had worked for weeks on her performance, and she wanted it to be perfect. Her dad had promised to sit quietly in the audience, cheering her on like any normal parent. But this dad, he had a different plan. And it all started when the host announced that next up, we have a very special surprise performance. The curtains opened and there he was, her dad. At first, everyone thought it was a joke. Was he here to make an announcement? Introduce his daughter? No, he was here to dance. The music blasted through the speakers. It wasn't just any song. It was MC Hammer, You Can't Touch This. The crowd gasped. Now, this wasn't just a little shuffle. This man went full out. Arms swinging, legs kicking, doing the splits, or at least attempting to. The crowd erupted in laughter. Phones came out. Kids were recording from every angle. Meanwhile, his daughter, she wanted the ground to swallow her whole. Her face turned bright red. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. This was supposed to be her night. And now, it was all about Dad. But here's the thing. The more embarrassed she looked, the harder he danced. He threw in the moonwalk, a breakdance spin, even the classic sprinkler. The gymnasium was shaking with laughter. Finally, after 3 long minutes of pure chaos, the music stopped. Dad struck a final pose, and the crowd went wild. Standing ovation, cheering. Even the teachers were clapping. But his daughter? She wasn't clapping. She was mortified. When it was finally her turn to perform, she could barely focus, because all anyone could talk about was her dad. The next day at school, it only got worse. The video had gone viral overnight. Thousands of views. Everyone was sharing it. Her dad had officially become the dancing dad. At first, she was furious, but then something changed. As the weeks went, Bish realized people weren't laughing at her. They were laughing with her dad. He had brought joy to the whole school. It made her proud. Sometimes dads don't always know the right way to show love. Sometimes they embarrass us. Sometimes they go too far. But deep down it usually comes from the best place. So let me ask you, would you be proud or completely humiliated if your dad danced at your school talent show? Comment below. And if you enjoyed this story, hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more unbelievable Reddit dad stories every week.